Right, our next reader, Liz Abrams Morley, is the author of 5 poetry collections, most recently Inventory from Finishing Line Press. Her second full-length collection, Necessary Turns, won an Eric Hoffer Award for Best in Small Press Publishing in 2010. Both her poems and short stories have been published in a wide variety of journals, e-zines, and anthologies and have been read on NPR. Co-founder and co-director of Around the Block Writers Collaborative, Liz taught for more than a decade in the MFA program at Rosemont and looks forward to running a poetry workshop during the Writers Retreat this coming June. Please welcome Liz Abrams Morley.
So this is, let's see, in case of attack, circle the wagons, dive under your desk, step away from windows. None of this advice is ever good. Once you learned Dew Line Road was named for Cold War paranoia, distant early warning, and not droplets, early summer moisture you'd see gleaming on dense dune grasses each morning as you biked past long-shuttered airbase housing, a gate off its hinges, keep out sign askew and faded, the romance was over. Even when you spied a red fox, her kit trailing her, their tails, auburn flags in May sunrise, she stopped, froze, the kit too, froze on cue and stared you down as if to say, try it, just fucking try it, which of course you wouldn't. I come in peace, you heard yourself say stupidly. The rusted chains on swings, half cracked in the playground of the abandoned airbase, creaked, and you blinked first, averted your gaze to where a splintering ladder leaned against a one-story bungalow. A hazard, you thought, to have it there, inviting bored kids to climb onto a roof that's clearly rotting and maybe tumble into a shattering window, into a kitchen that could not be torn down. The rumor cost to do it right, too high. The pipes, all that old asbestos, and by the time you looked back, the foxes had made evasive maneuvers, even their orange bright tails camouflaged into the tall green grass. This one's going in a little different direction. This is a poem I have written and rewritten and has been in multiple forms and finally got it together in this form. So revision continues. This is in 4 parts. A couple of them are very short parts, but I'm just going to pause between parts rather than read the numbers. This is etched in stone. She plants butterfly bushes, but what will flutter in? The monarchs are disappearing. Their long flights from Mexico to Pacific Grove, their sojourns to Cape May, something about changing currents. Or humans fucking with the climate, her friend Vincent says. He says we all focus on the big things, but watch. It'll be a bunch of little losses that do us in. Bumblebees going, the monarchs, things are disappearing. And she remembers suddenly the autumn of the ladybugs, Dorset, Vermont. Her mother felled the brutal winter before. The ladybugs appeared on shutters and windows, door of the rented New England salt box, and the locals, without lifting a brow, said, "Oh yeah, happens every year." Used to be way more of them. While the shingles gleamed, beaded, sequined, insects clinging to the sunny side of the house, the bugs lasted maybe 2 days before moving on, though she found stragglers, a few dried corpses into November. Crushed, their brittle wings trailed red dust across pages of failed elegies. Monuments planed by rain, names lost to weather. When did etched in stone come to mean forever? Year's end, she lights a candle for her lost mother, the wick flickering in slight breath, her window panes unglazed, the flame a firefly trapped in a jar. And fireflies, Vincent's saying, who sees them anymore? A few specimens in shrubs, 1 or 2 some nights, 3 or 4 a season, someone inevitably singing out, "Look, lightning bug." "Yeah," he says, "remember when it was just, oh yeah, lightning bugs, must be summer." Okay. So this is pretty new. This This is, I guess, sort of a found poem. I call it an encountered poem. It opens with an epigraph from Barack Obama. Anyway, it says, we flood communities with so many guns that it's easier for a teenager to get his hands on a Glock than on a computer or even a book. Barack Obama, July 12th, 2016. This is called Word, Craft Fair Booth number 32, an encountered poem. Yeah, he says, I'm the designer. It's all in the design. His deconstructed peace sign spells G-I-V-E across tie-dyed sweatshirts. I see you see it. The puzzle, what the word creates. Pieces of peace, he says. He says, listen here. I was just listening to my president. Did you hear him on the radio? Down there in Dallas, another funeral. I guess he's had practice, but consoler in chief? The man's got words. I always wanted words. Yeah, I was an architect. But buildings, I mean, what do buildings say? I needed to say something solid. Something, you know, the guns, the news, all those funerals. Now I say it was shirts. Proffered palm turns skyward as if he's asking me to dance. He waves across the span of his craft fair booth to a sweatshirt alive in oranges and yellows. You like that one? Lady who came just before you wanted to know if couldn't I put the symbols on the back and so not distract from the colors? Showed me her back when I said, no, but you got to see a face when you see these words coming toward you. We need, urgent now, he says, to start a conversation. And he's barely taken a breath, but I guess what he means by conversation is that my eye contact is enough. My nodding when he says, I only make hoodies anymore, you know why, right? Is enough. Hoodies and onesies and toddler tees, he says. It's never too early to bring the word. Yeah, he was a find, this man. He literally said, I need to have something solid. I need to say something solid. I was an architect. Yeah. And I thought, wow. Wow, that's amazing. Doesn't get more solid than that. Okay. So I got two more, one longer, one short and nude. This is a poem in 3 parts. Again, I'm just going to kind of pause a little bit between parts. And it's my favorite word I've discovered lately is penultimate. So this is the penultimate poem. This is a little different tone. Polishing the stainless. I randomly imagine Eve, first bride before bridal showers, fingering with woe her flatware, spoons mismatched, silver, stainless, round-bowled oblong, scoops for her applesauce with cloves, for soups made from the array of vegetables in the garden, butternut squash, pepper, wax bean, snap pea. Dig in, she'd have said to Adam if he let her have words, but he claimed them. Left her to harvest fruits. Okay with her. Language alone, she could have told him, wouldn't nourish the children, who she couldn't even keep from killing each other. I once had a friend who stole 1 teaspoon from each cafe, diner, dive she ate in, 45 states and a few foreign nations. In our shared apartment, Madison, 1972. She loved to serve her legendary soups to our friends, leftovers stewed for hours over low heat, a beat-up stock pot on an avocado stove. Every place at our cigarette-scarred wooden table set with one of her collection. Dig in, she said she stole because she craved the words, because for each spoon she knew a story. Later, I moved onto a street of neat 3-bedroom houses where behind doors women silently set tables with floral claws and matched flatware. Some had refrigerators magnet papered in crayoned families, tempera paint handprints, report cards pocked by A's and B's, appliances become shrines to the ephemera of their children's lives. Then the babies grew up, cleared out. The mothers refused to move. What would they do with that, about the drawers filled with old t-shirts, PJs, jeans, and the kids had left behind and might need if they came home and decided to sleep over? Unused rooms kept swept. Beds left made as if daughters, as if sons would slide into deserted spaces at the dinner table, pick up spoons and resume the conversation. The way one piece, suddenly retrieved from under the bureau, slides into emptiness and completes the jigsaw puzzle. After her not quite grown son died, my sister cleaned out the stainless steel refrigerator, turned from hearth to earth, her new yard on a small pond where no one asked her to name her sorrow. She suspended spoons, forks, knives from driftwood, hung these by lengths of dental floss, created wind chimes which clattered and scared off crows, red foxes, even coyotes. She ripped into trim green lawn, planted beans, squash, tomatoes so fat and sweet they bent vines straight down to earth. Love apples, someone called them, and she loved them, harvested them gently with scarred, bare hands. Okay, so this is the totally new piece. I almost never write in form. My students know this, my friends know this. This one, if you saw it on the page, you would realize is a very strict, each stanza is a strict 5-7-5 haiku. I counted, I divided words. I've been known to say, if you're having really strong emotion, try form, right? Sometimes it helps you to figure out, and this was a day that I was losing it. So this is called In Brief. Used to be haiku, poetry's economy, could sing. Now these tweets, bleat, tweet, Twitter, twat, not to approve that word you say, but when provoked. Chickadees in bare branches chirp winter hungers. We hear impending spring, perhaps. 140 characters and a mule you quip, fractured history. He fractures 140 characters of character assassination. Look, I wrote ass, you laugh, and the sun breaks through gathered clouds. He tweets, hate, fear, but each day holds light later. In streets, righteous crowds keep gathering, keep laughing irreverently. Pink cat-eared hats above which geese blare their return. From cold dirt, a crocus. We be resistance.